Chapter 1. Timmy woke up to a weird smell. It wasn't pancakes, it wasn't bacon, it smelled like burnt socks. Grandpa? Timmy rubbed his eyes and shuffled to the kitchen. He stepped through the doorway and squish! Timmy slipped and landed on something big, soft, and fluffy. Oof! Watch the fluff, kiddo, said a voice below him. Timmy blinked. His eyes got wide, his jaw dropped. Lying on the floor was a giant marshmallow. But not just any marshmallow. It had Grandpa's glasses, Grandpa's slippers, and Grandpa's fuzzy pink bathrobe. "Grandpa, it's me," the marshmallow said cheerfully. Just a little softer than usual. Timmy sat up. What happened? Grandpa wiggled his marshmallowy arms. "I told you I was soft on the inside. I guess now I'm soft everywhere." Timmy poked his grandpa's squishy arm. His finger sank in like pudding. "Oh, yeah," Grandpa said. "It's like being made of pillows covered in fluff dipped in dreams." Timmy giggled. You're huge." "I know. I had to roll down the hallway like a jelly bean just to get to the kitchen." Grandpa chuckled, then let out a loud, poofy fart that puffed out a cloud of powdered sugar. "Blah!" Timmy coughed. "Did you just fart sprinkles?" "I prefer the term flavor dust," Grandpa said proudly. "I've always had a sweet side." Timmy shook his head, still grinning. "We have to fix this." "Do we?" Grandpa said, doing a little spin. "I feel great. I bounce, I'm squishy, and I smell like a campfire treat." Timmy looked at him. Grandpa was now trying to sip tea, but the cup kept sinking into his chest. The tea disappeared into his fluffy body and made him steam like a teapot. "Maybe we don't have to fix you," Timmy said. But deep down, he wasn't so sure. Chapter 2. Grandpa Marshmallow peeked out the front door. The sun was shining, the birds were singing, and Grandpa was wearing a giant raincoat, a big floppy hat, sunglasses, and rollerblades. "Where are you going?" Timmy asked. "To the grocery store," Grandpa said. "We're out of tapioca pants." Timmy blinked. "That's not a thing." "Well, it should be," Grandpa replied proudly, then rolled out the door with a thwump, thump, thump. Timmy ran after him. "Grandpa, you can't go to the store. You're made of sugar. You'll melt." Grandpa giggled. "I'll be quick. Just need some gum and maybe a box of socks." Inside the store, people stared. The manager squinted at Grandpa's wobbly marshmallow shape under the coat. A baby in a shopping cart looked at Grandpa and took a bite out of his elbow. "Ah!" Grandpa yelped. "No nibbling, please." The baby giggled and shouted, "Tasty, man!" Suddenly, 5 more kids came running down the candy aisle. One pointed. "He's made of snack! Marshmallow!" another shouted. "Get the graham crackers!" someone yelled. "Chocolate!" screamed another. "Run!" Grandpa shouted, flailing his arms as he skated away. His floppy hat flew off. Timmy chased after him, zigzagging past shopping carts. Grandpa bounced over a fruit display, rolled through a freezer door, and knocked over a tower of paper towels. At one point, he tried hiding inside a bag of jumbo marshmallows. "Shh," he whispered to Timmy from inside the plastic bag. "They'll never find me." Timmy glowing. "I'm what now?" "Your butt is literally glowing through the bag." "Oh, Fluff," Grandpa whispered. Boom! A popcorn machine exploded nearby, covering everyone in buttery fluff. A little kid yelled, "He's over there!" Grandpa burst out of the bag and zoomed toward the exit, sticking to shopping carts, candy shelves, and one very confused man holding a watermelon. "Save your fluff!" Grandpa cried as they escaped into the parking lot. They finally made it back to the house, panting. Timmy looked at Grandpa. He was missing a chunk from his elbow, and a chocolate square was stuck to his head. "I think," Timmy said, "maybe we should just order groceries next time." Grandpa nodded. "Yeah, good idea. Also, I think someone took a bite out of my leg." They both laughed, even as powdered sugar floated through the air like tiny snowflakes. Chapter 3. Back at home, Timmy stood in the backyard with his hands on his hips. Grandpa Marshmallow was sitting in a kiddie pool filled with whipped cream. "Nothing's working," Timmy said with a sigh. Zoey, Timmy's best friend, arrived on her scooter wearing goggles and carrying a backpack full of bananas, soda bottles, and pool noodles. "Is it true?" she asked. "Your grandpa turned into a marshmallow?" Grandpa waved. "Softest grandpa on the block?" Zoey dropped her bag. "We're gonna need science." Together, they turned the backyard into a wobbly science lab. They stacked cardboard boxes, glued together spaghetti wires, and filled a blender with root beer and jelly beans. Timmy held up a notepad. Step 1. Dip Grandpa in warm cocoa. Grandpa dipped his big marshmallow toe into the cocoa tub and squealed like a duck. "It's too hot! Too hot!" They poured in cold milk and Grandpa sat in it like a gooey bubble bath. "Still a marshmallow," Timmy said. "Step 2, Zoey read, "sing loud opera music at him." Grandpa stood in the middle of the lawn while Timmy and Zoey took turns singing "La La!" with wide mouths and wiggly arms. Grandpa puffed up like a balloon. "Okay, now I'm fluffier," he said, but not any less marshmallow. Zoey rubbed her chin. "Step 3, lightning." Grandpa squinted. "I don't like where this is going." They tied streamers to him and attached a mini drone to his back. "Don't worry," Timmy said. "It's safe-ish." The drone lifted Grandpa into the air like a parade float. He floated above the house, spinning gently, arms waving. "Whee!" Grandpa shouted. Then zap! A bolt of static from the clouds struck him. "Whoa!" Grandpa cried. "Now I'm zappy fluff!" He floated back down, trailing glitter and smelling like toasted marshmallows. Zoey sighed. "Still a marshmallow." Grandpa looked at his hands, then at Timmy and Zoey. "You know what?" he said. "Being a marshmallow isn't so bad." "But don't you want to be normal again?" Timmy asked. "I don't know," Grandpa said, scratching his fluffy head. "I kind of like bouncing." And just then, he bounced a little too high and got stuck to the side of the house. Guys," he called. "A little help?" Timmy and Zoey giggled. Chapter 4. Timmy and Zoey stood on the porch, munching popsicles. Grandpa Marshmallow bounced around the yard like a trampoline. "Boing, boing, careful, Grandpa," Timmy called. "You're extra sticky today." "I'm just getting some air in my fluff." Grandpa laughed as he bounced over a lawn chair and stuck to the fence. Suddenly, a breeze carried something strange through the air, a loud squeaky noise, and the smell of roasted peanuts. Zoey sniffed. "Do you smell that?" Timmy gasped. "Uh-oh, today's the Squirrel Festival at the park." "Nut-A-Palooza," Grandpa shouted. "I forgot, the squirrels love snacks." And just then, the sound of tiny marching feet filled the air. Over the fence came a gang of squirrels wearing tiny bandanas, sunglasses, and little nut-sized backpacks. One held up a sign that said, "We smell marshmallow." Another shouted, "S'morees!" And all the squirrels screamed like rock stars. Grandpa's eyes went wide. "Oh, snap!" He took off bouncing, and the squirrel stampede followed. Timmy and Zoey jumped on their scooters to help. "Don't let them nibble him," Zoey shouted. Grandpa bounced over a garden hose. Squirrels bounced too. Grandpa stuck to a trampoline. The squirrels bounced higher. One squirrel pulled out a tiny chocolate bar. Another had mini graham crackers taped to his paws. "They came prepared," Timmy shouted. Grandpa tried hiding in a pile of pillows, but one squirrel poked him and said, toasty." "Zoom, zoom," Grandpa yelled, launching himself across the yard. Zoey grabbed a can of whipped cream and sprayed it into the air. The squirrels stopped. They sniffed, then they dove into the whipped cream like it was a squirrel hot tub. Grandpa panicked. "I think we lost them." Timmy wiped marshmallow fluff off his shoe. That was close. They all sat on the porch step, breathing hard. A squirrel peeked out from the whipped cream, wearing a tiny floaty ring and sunglasses. "I think we made some new friends," Zoey giggled. "Or new snack critics," Grandpa whispered, patting his marshmallow belly. Chapter 5. That night, Timmy lay in bed, hugging his blanket. Grandpa Marshmallow sat beside him, extra squishy and wearing Timmy's old dinosaur pajamas. "I've been thinking," Timmy said softly. "Do you want to stay a marshmallow forever?" Grandpa wobbled a little. "Well, it is fun being fluffy. I bounce great. I smell great. And birds think I'm a cloud." He paused, "But I do kind of miss being able to open a jar without sticking to it." Timmy sat up. "What if we can turn you back?" Grandpa smiled. "What did you have in mind?" Timmy hopped out of bed and grabbed a jar from his desk. "This is peanut butter. It always made you feel better when you were sick, remember?" "And what goes with peanut butter?" Grandpa asked. "Hugs," Timmy whispered, arms wide. He hugged Grandpa tight, like really tight, and Zoey, who had snuck in through the window, tossed a handful of peanut butter confetti into the air. "Science hug!" she shouted. There was a little pop, then a poof, then a sparkly twinkle. When the dust settled, Grandpa sat in Timmy's desk chair, blinking. His arms were arms again. His slippers were on the right feet. His belly was still round, but it no longer jiggled like jelly. "I'm back?" Grandpa said. He wiggled his fingers. He sniffed his armpit. "Yep, that's the real me," Timmy cheered. "It worked. You're not a marshmallow anymore." Grandpa smiled. "Well, not entirely." He leaned forward, and a tiny puff of powdered sugar came out of his belly button. They all laughed. Grandpa pulled off a fuzzy hat to reveal a head full of mini marshmallows. "They're stuck," he shrugged. "It's a hairy situation." Timmy curled up under the blanket. "Best week ever." Grandpa turned off the light and started to leave. Then, a soft cloud of powdered sugar floated through the air like snow. "Oops," Grandpa whispered. Timmy smiled and drifted off to sleep, dreaming of bouncing science and one very sweet grandpa.